Alright, let's take a look at that controversial FifPro World XI. You know, the one that included Sergio Ramos at right back, and take a look at where these players were 10 years ago back in September 2009. ALISSON. It's weird. Brazil arguably possessed the two greatest goalies on the planet, which is odd because traditionally that was the only position that country were unable to produce anything of note, largely because in that footballing mad country, you'd be hard pushed to find any kid to go in goal. I mean, for God's sake, nobody wants to grow up to become the next Donny, and I'm guessing, unlike in Britain, there aren't too many fat lumps to relegate to being the goalie when you're a kid. Which is the only reason I can give for Paddy Kenny having a career. But anyway, ALISSON has enjoyed a stunning time at Liverpool, doing his very best to banish the traumatic memories of his predecessor, a lad who by all rights should be working down his local river island. 10 years ago, ALISSON was 16 years old and stuck in the Internacional Youth Academy out in Brazil. Sergio Ramos. How this man has made it into the team of the year ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold, I have no idea. And especially at right back, Sergio Ramos. Did we not put this issue to bed back in 2006? The lad is as much a right back as I am a Malaysian dinner lady. Anyway, he's made it into the team of the year, no doubt after threatening to poleaxe one of the adjudicator's relatives. Back in 2009, this lad was... well, he was still in the Real Madrid starting lineup. He wasn't the Bernabeu legend he's since become though. He was heading into his 5th season at the club, with the trophy cabinet looking very much bare. MATTHIJS to LIGT, the golden boy of defensive football, a lad forecast to feature in Champions League and World Cup finals inside the next 10 years, whereas 10 years ago, the only thing he featured in were the wet dreams of his parish priest. Yeah, back in 2009, this defensive behemoth was just 10 years of age, no doubt breathing in a sigh of relief, having managed to outlast Michael Jackson. Virgil van Dijk. The rise of Virgil van Dijk has been monstrous. I'll be honest, I did not see Champions League winner written all over his face 2 years ago, back when he was marshalling a defence alongside Maya Yoshida, or before that when he was spending his early 20s stuck on coaches to play Aberdeen and Motherwell every other week. 10 years ago the fellow was 18 years old and a part-time dishwasher. I'm not even joking. Now he might be cleaning up after Dejan Lovren whenever he gets on the pitch, but 10 years ago he was cleaning up stale porridge. Tell him then, back when he was stuck in the Willem II Academy, that he'd one day lift the Champions League, he would have laughed. Marcelo. Again, I do not have a foggy how on earth Marcelo made this team. Andrew Robertson will wipe the floor with him these days. But still, 10 years ago, the 31-year-old was in his 3rd season of the Bernabeu. Christ, he's been there a while. And like Ramos, hadn't won too much of note. As opposed to now, where he can't move for the middles. Frenkie de Jong. Like Delight, de Jong is an up-and-coming export from that Ajax first team. But like Van Dijk, 10 years ago, he was in the academy well and too, lining out alongside his dishwashing compatriot every other week. De Jong was only 12, but had been at the club since he was 7 years of age. Luka Modric. And again, Luka Modric makes his team despite Real Madrid playing most of last season like a pack of disinterested camels. I swear, this man is still living off that Ballon d'Or from last year. But listen, 10 years ago, Luka Modric was into his 2nd season at Spurs, lighting up White Hart Lane under Harry Redknapp, having been rejected by Newcastle the previous year for being too short. Dennis Wise calling someone else too short. That's like Gary Taylor-Fletcher telling me I have a weight problem, when you've clearly devoured your wife and kids. Look, I can even see a foot hanging out your mouth. Eden Hazard, yet another Real Madrid player to make this team. Surprise, surprise. To be fair, Eden Hazard did have a great year last year. 10 years ago, the Belgian was an 18-year-old prospect at Lille, a club who have a mixed bag as far as production goes. It's like a dodgy takeaway. One day you get a nice juicy hamburger, on another you could get a handful of pubes in your fries. You never really know. In 2009, Hazard had nearly 40 first-team appearances under his belt for Lille, and the lad had barely finished puberty. We should have known he was going to be a top player. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's mad to think it's been over 10 years since Cristiano Ronaldo played in the Premier League. Back in September 2009, the lad had recently completed an earth-shattering world record £80 million transfer to Real Madrid, and had the most anticipated debut in world football at Tallaght Stadium in Dublin. Kylian Mbappe. While the likes of Ronaldo were still destroying teams left, right and centre across the globe a decade ago, Kylian Mbappe, on the other hand, was just 10 years old. He was playing for the youth teams at AS Bondy, somewhere out the suburbs of Paris, and was just 4 years from the move which changed his life, being snapped up by Monaco's youth academy. This man's career is going to be scary in 10 years' time. I mean, hopefully. It would be an awful shame if he turned out to be the French Michael Owen, reduced to slandering his former employers in a book to remain relevant. Lionel Messi. So while the likes of Kylian Mbappe were no doubt spending his free time picking his nose and collecting Pokemon cards, Lionel Messi, on the other hand, was torching defences across the globe. He just scored in a Champions League final win over Manchester United at the age of 22 and was undoubtedly the greatest player on the planet. Not much has changed since.